Okay, so we're back here with the Mortal Kombat 10 arcade machine, and I'm making this video because I've made some changes to it, some small changes and some big changes. Most notably here on the small scale is I have changed the buttons out from all white to, I changed the shell to black and then put the white actual button back in the shell. So there was a whole lot of white, and I mean it looked great, but I wanted to kind of offset some of that white, so I went ahead and changed out the shells here for the buttons. You can see the outside portion here is black and the actual button itself is white. So I changed those out to kind of offset some of the white. I'm still 50-50 on whether I want to change out the white dust washers to black. I might just leave those white, but so I changed out those. I might change them back. It just depends on what people say and how it grows on me or whatnot. But I did that. Then I also installed the quote-unquote instruction card on the bezel there, and if I pan up even more, you'll see that I have installed a 27-inch LED monitor. When you guys saw this last, it had a CRT in it. It had a 24.8-inch tri-mode MacVision CRT in it that I also have in my MK9 and my Injustice cabinets. Now the main thing that was the deciding factor in putting an LED in here and taking out that CRT is, while the image was great with the CRT, the icons were too small. You really can't read them at all at 480p on a CRT. I was able to get away with using a CRT with the MK9 and the Injustice cabinets because the PS3's output 480p on the component. I'm sorry, let me rephrase. The PS3's output 1080p on the component cables, which then get converted to VGA through the VGA converter. When it does that, there is absolutely no quality loss that I can see with my own eyes. So as far as the quality goes, it may only be 480p. It may only be 4:3 480p on these monitors, but for all intents and purposes, it still looks like HD. So I am extremely happy, 100% satisfied with the image quality of the MacVision monitors, the CRTs here, and these two cabinets. But MK10 is a different story because it's outputting HDMI only, which is a digital signal, and it has to be converted to analog via an HDMI to VGA converter and then converted again from VGA to CGA, and the quality loss is just too great. The image looked, again, crisp and clear, but the little details are lost. Like sometimes when you play in the game, well, I don't have MK10 yet, but I had MLB The Show 2014, and some of the instructions that it told you to do in parts of the game, you really couldn't read what to do because the quality loss was too great, having to be converted from digital to analog and then converted twice in two different converters. The image looks great, but you couldn't read any of the text hardly, and the button cues and button clues and things, so it would have made MK10 really difficult to play and learn. So I had to upgrade to a 27-inch LED, and when I turn the machine on and show that to you in action, you're going to really agree with me there. So I hated having to do that, but after I got all this done and looked, and it really turned out great. I'm really happy with how it looks, and it fills the whole area there nicely, and I'll get to the details of how it all was installed here in a minute. So that turned out real great, but those are basically the only real changes. I put new coin door locks in the upper and lower coin door. I did the button swap out. I put the LED in there, the 27-inch LED, and then I put the bezel instruction card there that I made up. So the machine as it stands now is 100% done. I don't think I'm going to do anything else to it. I'm going to leave it the way it is for the immediate future, unless somebody can change my mind on something about it. But I think for all intents and purposes, it's officially 100% done. I'm not going to make any more changes to it that I can think of. So let me go ahead and give you a rundown of how it operates. It's fairly simple. Again, inside is a PlayStation 4. Unlock it there, which is, it's kind of hard to see, but it's sitting right there on the top part of the lower coin door box, or coin box anyway. So again, yeah, two new locks, upper and lower. So the PS4 is in there, and it's just running HDMI out directly to the LED, and all you have to do to get the machine up and running is you press or you flip the power switch, there's a PS button here. I put the PS buttons on top so they're out of the way, so they don't actually accidentally get pressed, or they're hidden so people don't know they're there. If I ever take this machine somewhere and put it on display or put it in public and get the game up and running, I put the buttons up here so they're hidden so people won't get into the PS4 system and start changing things and messing with things. So this is the PS button for player 1, and that's the PS button for player 2. So they're up here, and all you do is turn the machine on with the power switch, press the PS button for either controller, and the PS4 will boot up. And I'm going to shoot from this side over here because of the glare from the overhead. But this display really fills out the space, and it looks really good too. So I'm happy with the way this turned out. Alright, so we'll press X here. And there we have it. And that's all there is to it. There's 2 buttons you press, the power switch and the PS button, and the system boots up right into the PS4 menu. And then of course you would just move the control over and select your game and press X and you're off and running. But let me go ahead and show that all the controls actually work. Let me go back this way because that overhead light has too much of a glare. So what I'll do here is I'll go up to the messages. Create message. I'm not online. It's okay. Oh, come on. I just want to create a message, you stupid piece of crap. Create message. I know because I'm not online. I don't have a cable hooked up. Forget it. Oh, here we go. We'll do it that way. Alright. So, I press the X button. That takes me into the message thing there. Alright, so what I'll do here is up, down, left, right. Let's see here. X will... I think that actually enters letters, so I'll press X a bunch of times here. So there you go. And now square will actually erase them. There you go. L2, I don't have an L2 because it's not needed to play the game, so I just have L1 and R2. So L1 should move the cursor to the left. There we go. Let's see, triangle is a space. There we go. R2 exits completely out of the system, out of the message here, so I'll press R2. And then circle goes back, so I'll press circle. And there you go. So that's all the buttons, up, down, left, right, all these buttons, everything works. Options works also. And of course the same thing for player 2. I'm not going to go through player 2, but player 2, I tested it, it's all good too, same way. So all the controls are good, no issues there. Let me go over and escape back out of there. Oh, yes. And that's basically it, guys. So the system is up and running. Everything's interfaced correctly. There's no issues. The LED looks phenomenal. And the way that this is working here, the way I installed it was, it's 24.5 inches wide and then 27 inches diagonally. The cabinet itself is 25 1/8 wide, and the monitor is 24 1/2. So I've got 3/4 of an inch or so, give or take, to have some play in here. So what ends up happening is that along the side here, there is a little, I don't say, half-inch piece of wood that the original factory Crt bezel would rest against. I had to cut out the pieces for the sides here to allow the LED to fit up all the way against the glass, which is the way that it really needs to be and the way that it is now. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but it's right up against the glass the way it's supposed to be. Actually behind the bezel, of course, but so I actually had to cut these areas out along that piece there to allow this to come up all the way against the glass on both sides. Then of course this piece there and this piece there are still there on both sides. So that's all done. and then of course it goes up against the glass, and I mounted a piece of wood across the back of the monitor and then screwed it to the back of the monitor for the holes, for the normal holes you'd see on the back of this thing, to mount it like on a stand or something. So the piece of wood's on the back of there, screwed to the back of the monitor. Then I have 2 more pieces of wood screwed to the sides of those, which then screw into the sides of the cabinet, and it just pushes right up against where it needs to be. Then I screwed it in both sides. So it's pretty cut and dry, not too difficult to do something like this, but it turned out fantastic. And it really has, it's going to be hard to see because of glare, but I put the original factory seizure decal back on there, and then of course I have my custom instruction card decal there. But what this is actual factory CRT bezel material. I took the original factory CRT bezel and hacked it all up, and had a spare one actually from a different game and hacked it all up, and I was able to combine the pieces and make a bezel here, a custom bezel that is made out of original material from an original CRT bezel. So it actually looks pretty good. I'm sorry I can't make it look any better on camera here, but you'll see some pictures I'm sure at some point. But yeah, this bezel here is material that's left over from 2 different bezels that I spliced together in various pieces and parts to make it all look official and give it a little factory feel to it. So that being said, let me I have a DVD here of gameplay footage from the story mode for the first chapter of MK10. So let me boot that up here, and I'll show it in action here for a minute or so. Let me fast forward to some actual gameplay. There we go. Oh, come on. Hit the wrong button. There we go.
You should see your face. Hope someone got a shot of that.
Alright, so there you go, guys. To escape out of here, I press the PS button. Takes me back out of there. And there we go. I go up and over, turn the system off, and then after I get an image here that says no signal, I got to count to 10 from that point, and then the PS4 will be completely shut down. And then I just flip the switch. So I gotta wait for that no signal. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's off. I just counted 10 for insurance purposes, so make sure it's totally off. So then of course I do that, and the system shuts off, and it's all done. So thanks for watching this video here, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and comments are always welcome. And thanks for being fans. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching and subscribing, and we'll see you next time.